What is going on, guys? It is your boy Icy, and today we have a brand new update from the Coalition and Gears of War. This is something that I did not actually expect to happen, so to be honest, this is a good sign even if I'm not in love with this update. Let's get right on into it. Gears of War, September 3rd, update, here we go. The Gnasher weapon tuning, which is pretty much the only thing that was adjusted. Reduced power at mid-range. Damage modifications. Medium range damage reduced by 15%. Now that sounds pretty insane. It does not affect close range damage. So that sounds insane, and it is insane. 15% is quite a bit. I do not think it should be that much. 15% is insane. Now you may think, Icy, the one-shot downs are ridiculous. 15% is plenty. Like, that's good. That's what it should be. Reduce it by even more. Now, you have to understand, what they consider mid-range is not necessarily what we may consider mid-range. So we'll have to get into that. Bullet spread not as tight when aiming down sights. So they are basically widening the range of the pellets or of the spread. The shotgun pellet spread when aiming down sights is now less tight when targeting compared to the launch version, but it is still tighter than the beta. So we're in an in-between area here, which is the beta and the launch version of this game, which is what we've been playing on for the past week. So I'm going to show you guys basically in this private match exactly what that looks like, and we'll talk about what that necessarily means for the game and the gameplay, and what I think about it ultimately going forward. So let's get right on into this. I do have my friend Kenny here, and we are going to discuss this for you guys. Alright, so just like in my previous video, right when this game dropped, I'm going to show you guys the pellet differences here. So put myself up against this wall just like this. I'm going to shoot a perfect LT, just like that. And as you guys can see, it's a little bit different from when this game first released. It's a lot wider, at least from this range. Now you may not see it when you're closer range like this. As you guys can tell, it's a lot tighter of a spread, but it's very noticeable, from this range. So here's a blind fire, here's an LT, and as you guys can see, it's almost the exact same. I mean, it's virtually the exact same, which is interesting, right? Because right here, if I blind fire like this, and if I aim, this one is noticeably smaller than that one. It's not like an insane amount, but it's definitely noticeable. Like, if somebody was like, which one is smaller, you would definitely say this one, right? But from this range, it's pretty much the exact same. I mean, you really wouldn't even be able to tell. It actually might be the exact same, to be honest. It looks very, very similar. So it's just a matter of ranges. But from like I said, playing for damage, if you're gonna shoot somebody, you might actually have to quote unquote hit them 4 or 5 times, depending on how many of these little pellets that you're actually hitting. Even if your crosshair is perfect, Kenny, stand up against that wall for me. Even if your crosshair is perfect, just like this, from this range, honestly, like, you're not hitting very many pellets, right? Just like that. Pull off, Kenny. We missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pellets here, or I guess 5 pellets. We missed 5 pellets from that range, which is pretty, substantial, to be honest. So it's just a matter of, being able to be within a reasonable range. But the problem with this is, in my opinion, is the fact that players are able to move so quickly, and there's so many covers to use. So, like, when you have a game that, whoa, I didn't even know about. Did you know about this, Kenny? Like, what is this?
No.
Why can I take cover here? Wow. Okay.
No clue.
Never. Is that? Wow. It's here as well. All right. Did not know that. Anyways, learn something new every day. My point is when you have a game like this, it's hard to be rewarding accurate players, because you're not hitting all of these pellets. And then, like, for an example, if, let's say I'm, fighting like this, I might shoot somebody like this, right? And now some of my pellets are hitting this pillar, some of my pellets are hitting the player, and then some of my pellets are hitting the wall. So it's like, at the end of the day, I'm hitting like 2 pellets, even though I, you know, shot a decent shot there. And that's all while they're moving and, you know, whatever the case may be. Now, I don't agree with how the shotgun was. I think like it was a little ridiculous with how hard you can hit people and one-shot them down. But I liked the damage in terms of being able to actually apply pressure to people and play multiple playstyles. Like you guys have watched my videos all this week. I'm playing aggressive. I'm flying around, you know, dropping 90 to 100 kills in my games. Like it's not a big deal. But I also like to be able to, you know, sit back and hit my shots and be rewarded for that as well. So I feel like this update definitely favors, you know, the aggressor, just like UE did. It was really, really hard to play defensively in Ultimate Edition, and I feel like that's kind of the route that we are now headed here in this update, which, you know, some people like it, some people don't, I guess, but it is what it is. All right, as you guys remember in my Gears of War Reloaded is Weird video, this is the same exact setup. He's pretty much identical to where he was in that video, and I'm gonna go exactly where I was. So in that video, this was a 2-shot down, which I completely disagree with. That was, I mean, this is ridiculous. This should not be a 2-shot down. This is basically GAU 3, and you can't have this game have GAU 3 damage with its current movement system. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Which is why a lot of people were complaining, on top of the 1-shot downs. But whatever. This right here, in my opinion, though, should be like, especially with how players are able to move, I would say that this should be a 3 or a 4-shot down. And honestly, 4 being like only getting 5 extra percent. So like in 3 shots, I feel like I should do like 95 to 99% damage from this range. The reason I'm saying that is because, like I said, there's a lot of covers. People can wall bounce, you know, they can roadie run, whatever. I don't know. I just feel like this is an acceptable 3 to 4 shot range. So let's see how many it takes. Try to line this up perfectly. All right, 5 shots.
I'm in the zone, baby.
5 shots from right here. No active, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that, Kenny? 5 shots from this range? You feel like that makes sense? Hello?
No, I don't think that makes any sense. This should be like a 3 or a 4 shot down. If you're hitting perfect spreads, something like in between 3 or 4 to me makes sense.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm saying. 3 or 4. I mean, you agree though that like 5 is not even reasonable from this range, because you're not going to hit 5 perfect shots from this range while somebody's moving.
Yeah, I even think if you're like strafing with somebody right here, and like we're like kind of wiggling and shooting, like this being a 5-shot down is like hitting like the most ideal spreads, because I'm taking into consideration that you are going to miss pellets because of the spread, and then you're also going to miss pellets because of like how you're aiming. Like, yeah, this in a perfect world, like you have perfect aim, this should at minimum be a 4-shot down.
You think at minimum this should be a 4-shot down while we're strafing from here?
Yeah, no, if you're hitting like perfect spreads, like it's like, so there's no movement taken into it, like you're able to aim as perfectly as you need to, like at minimum it should be a 4-shot down.
Yeah, but
hit the 5-shot down.
Right, and you agree though that that's like extremely unrealistic, because nobody in the world, like not even us, is hitting that every single pellet.
Yeah.
So this is the problem, by the way. YouTube right here is like exactly what he's saying is the problem, and it's just what I said in the other room over there. Like, I could have my crosshairs as clean as I possibly can, right? It doesn't matter how good I have it. This is as good as I can get it pretty much right here, right? Pull off that wall for me, or get away from that. All right, so right here, right? I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, possibly 5 if I'm missing one, pellets right there. So that is, you know, and that's without him moving. That's him just letting me line this up. If he just, you know, side bounces, like here, just like give some movement, Kenny. All All right, so even on that last shot, right? That last shot, I missed like 5 or 6 pellets, and that's the point, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna reload, no active. Just keep doing that. Let's see how many times it takes me to down you. I'm gonna try to line this up perfectly and mix it up too. Don't be like so, you know. You gotta be careful though, right there, because you're getting closer. You know.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, so we're gonna redo this. All right, ready?
Yep.
Yeah, 5 shots, man. Like, in a real game scenario, I will never, ever, ever have time to just sit here like this and do this, nor will you ever just let me do this. Like, five shots from, I mean, that is, like, what was the time on that? It had to have been close to 10 seconds, probably, I bet. Like, I mean, I'm never, yeah, I mean, I'm never, ever, ever going to have, like, this to me is just too much. Like, I understand nerfing it, like it shouldn't be a 2-shot for sure, but this is a little ridiculous in my opinion. So another thing that we haven't even talked about either is how 1-shot downs are still a thing. So like I was mentioning before in the intro here is, you know, they adjusted the mid-range damage by 15%, but they also widened the spread, so that's actually not only 15% damage reduction, it's also a spread change. So in reality, you're doing a lot less damage because you're not hitting as many pellets, and you're doing less damage even if you do hit those pellets by 15%. That's from mid-range. So from close range, you're doing pretty much the exact same. They didn't adjust at all. They only adjusted the spread, but the spread is still pretty tight from close range, as you guys can see, which means I can 1-shot down my opponent still. So you're still going to be 1-shot downing people, and you're still going to be getting 1-shot downed, which is kind of counterproductive to updating the game, in my opinion. Especially, like, yes, you know, the range isn't so insane, but it is kind of as well. Like, I'm not sure. I haven't really tested it, but, like, this should not be a 1-shot down, right, Kenny? This is too far. Like,
it
this
might be
is
borderline.
Yeah, I know, but like if it was up to us, this is too far,
Yeah,
right?
no, this should absolutely not.
And that is a 1-shot down, and that is because they did not adjust any damage at all from close range, only mid range. Yeah, man, this.
Keep standing there.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Gotcha.
This shouldn't be a 1-shot.
No, that's probably the line right where we were. Yeah, you're 99. Right, you are 99.
Like, yeah, and then this will be a 1-shot.
This should be a 1-shot down, like if we're right. Wow, so you move up just a half. All right, that right there, that's that's gonna be a 1-shot down for sure. Oh, I missed a pellet. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, so I did miss a pellet, but yeah, that is the line right there, man. Wow. That should not be. I mean, this is this is ridiculous. 1-shot me. You have to hit every pellet. If you miss a pellet, you won't do it.
You gotta aim like right here.
Well, let me tell you when. All right, go ahead. Wow, you missed multiple pellets right there. But see, this is a perfect example though as to why you're missing pellets.
Bro, I don't even know how it's possible.
There you go. See, and it's because of, and this is exactly what I'm saying, YouTube. Like, professional player, I'm letting him hit me. Even him, he is going to miss some pellets sometimes. And there's a 1-shot. So it's just like when you add in movement and stuff, right? Like I don't know, man. It's a tough thing to do. But from mid range, this is why it's so important to actually be able to do damage from mid range. Because, like, exactly what he's doing right here. I mean, he's gliding around, right? I'm trying to dodge Lancer bullets. I'm trying to, you know, kill this guy quickly so I don't get flanked. You know, this is a reality of Gears of War right here. That, like, I don't know, man. I just feel like if they're going to adjust the shotgun, then it has to be sensible. It can't just be, oh, mid-range, we're going to reduce it by 15%. But on top of that, we're also going to change the the spread, that to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you're double nerfing mid-range and you're not doing anything from close range other than the spread change. So I don't know. I don't like that personally.
You know, this shotgun like reminds me a lot of the Gears 4 shotgun, like the not this one currently, but like the UE shotgun that like actual UE shotgun. It reminds me a lot of Gears 4. That's if the UE chunk range was just further, is it not kind of Gears 4? It was just all about like the up close fights, right?
Yeah, but that chunk range changes a lot. And
Yeah.
I also don't like, I'm not a fan of just strictly playing for chunks. I don't like that. I want to be able to play for damage.
I don't like it either, but that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I don't like the Gears 4 shotgun, and even then, like using like it's very similar to the Gears 4 shotgun. And think about how much less movement people have in this game when you get up close. Like that's the damage.
Yeah. All right, so we were just talking YouTube. Like this right here is still a one-shot down. You can still one-shot people down from over this cover, which, you know, in theory, like it looks like we're pretty close to each other, but in an actual game setting, oh, right there, I missed a pellet. In an actual game setting, like this is not, to me, this should not be a thing, in my opinion. There's a one-shot down. I mean, in reality, that's pretty far. Like, if you look at that, that is a pretty, like, sizable range, in my opinion. And then it's obviously the same thing on these sandbags. You know, if I wanted to push this guy like this, he could one-shot me down for sure. Go ahead. And so, like, you're gonna be able to play for damage. You know, you're gonna shoot these people time and time again. You're gonna walk up. You're just gonna get one shot downed. And honestly, from this range, I'm kind of okay with one-shot downs. Like, it's not the end of the world because I'm pretty damn close to this guy. But from, like, anywhere past that really is a little ridiculous. And I want to be able to, like, you know, poke, move, you know, poke, keep moving, and outplay my opponent by, you know, using the map and cover and positioning. I don't want to just always have to, you know, run into this guy and play for a kill. Like, that is not what I want to do in Gears of War. And I understand that a lot of people do, especially because, you know, the more modern Gears games like Gears 4 and 5, you're, you know, playing for chunks 90% of the time. In reality, that is not, like, what makes Gears of War, and I just feel like it's important to be able to play a, you know, any play style that you actually want to play and not have the meta, you know, kind of push a certain agenda, I guess, on players. I really feel like it's important to be able to play how you want to play and still find success. Especially in a team game, man. Like, I don't know. Not everybody should just have to wall bounce 24/7 and get close to people. Do you have any input or any thoughts on that, Kenny? Anything at all?
I agree with you. There should be different play styles, and that's one of the unique things about Gears is not everybody played the same. Like before Gears of War 4 praised, he was very much just like a shot hitter, not a lot of movement, and he had his own style. And then you looked at someone like Toy Soldier, who on Gears of War 3 was very much the flashy wall bounce around type of player, and it feels like what these recent games have done is turn people into more of that like flashy play for the chunk type of players rather than being able to have your own personality, and that's one of the things that's been lacking. So having a balanced shotgun and a balanced movement system, or just two that make sense, is the start of making that happen.
Yep. I mean, I 100% agree. I see it in myself a lot. Like, I'll go back and watch some of my older, you know, like Gears 3 videos, even some of my Gears 2 videos, and like I'm seeing myself play a certain way. Or even back when we were on Optic on GAL 4, like I'm watching myself play a certain way. And nowadays, I play, or at least I'm trying to play, like, you know, all these new generational, you know, type of players. Like, everything is about reaction shotting, everything is about inversing, everything is about back A over covers, and, you know, just trying to be quick, cover swap back A, like, I understand adapting, and obviously we've adapted in each title, you know, that we've played and been successful in. But it's not about me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the game itself. I want this game to be successful, and by shutting off half of the player base and the way that they like to play the game, I feel like you're hurting yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Not to mention, like, this update doesn't make logical sense in my eyes. You know, people are complaining about one thing, which is one-shot downs. Nobody was really complaining about anything else. I really like the mid-range damage. I like being able to two-shot and three-shot people down. I think that's fine, especially with how fast you can move in this game. Like, being able to actually play for damage is something that is, you know, kind of like a lost art, honestly. I don't know, man. At the highest level, you don't see a lot of players playing for damage very well without actually, you know, like pushing and, you know, doing that right there. So, just my opinion.
I also think it's hard too because I like to feel like I'm in the middle where I could, like, what pissed me off the most about the old shotgun was the one-shot downs, right? Especially at a range, like where it's just like with lesser movement, like you could still do movement, but lesser movement. Like you really can't, like with all of the XE maps, like you can't, when I'm trying to play and take mid-bridge on canals and I'm getting hit for, you know, 60-70% of my health rolling up the bridge, you know, it's frustrating. And then even on back jail, when I'm trying to play up on mid and I'm getting one shot down or something while I'm trying to move up and just play my spot the way I have been, like those situations being as bad as they were, like what I didn't like, but being someone who kind of feels like I'm in the middle, I don't think what you're asking for is unrealistic, but I could also see people who are more about the like Gears 4, Gears 5 style of play where they get more dopamine from movement and getting one-shot chunks than actually playing Gears of War.
Yeah, but that's my argument, is that it's not Gears at that point. You know, like, it literally just isn't even Gears when that's what we're playing. Gears of War to me is not just running around and chunking people like people imagine it in their head. Gears to me is...
Been watching you since, like, Optic, United, all that shit, bro. You were the fucking good.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. It's, you know... I don't know, man. It's a mixture of everything. But like I was saying, like, this shit just feels like they're kind of pushing a certain playstyle. And it's
Guess I missed that then.
not the playstyle that I like. But it's also not the playstyle that I agree with. Like, that's why I was saying I'm not even talking about me.
I'm actually low-key starstruck, bro. On grab. I literally just texted my homie. I'm gonna match with you right now.
Not even about me. It's about what I think is right for Gears and to help it grow.
Yeah. I would say that this version of the shotgun isn't exactly balanced. You went from, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very strong, you went from like it was probably close to with this movement, like a 9 or a 10. Now you brought it back to like I would say that the shotgun is now, like, it's weird because up close it's like very strong, so that still feels like it's sitting at like that 7-8 area, like where it's definitely a little more strong than it should be. And it just needs like a little like a nudge in the right direction, and then you go from that, and then like the mid-range damage just feels like they brought it from like a 7 or an 8 down to like a 2 or a 3, where it's now it's like almost, it is too weak now. So it's, you know, you're trying to find that 5 where when the shotgun does like the right damage at a range where, you know, if you're, like, I don't want to say like a slower player, but a more methodical player who isn't trying to just slide into people, you want to feel like you have the tools to be able to play that type of style. Whereas when you're also the aggressor, you should feel like you have the tools movement-wise and shotgun-wise to like do that. So, like, these two shotguns just both are missing balance, and that's why people feel the way they do. Like, there's gonna be people who enjoy this shotgun significantly more, like me included. If you ask me if I wanted to play the last shotgun or this shotgun, I'd rather deal with this shotgun than what we were just playing. But there are qualities to the old shotgun that I wish were still there, and would like to still see like be there.
So I'm in the opposite boat, to be honest, because this to me feels exactly like UE. And UE is, I mean, you literally can't play defense, bro. Like, there's nothing you can do. You can shoot somebody 7 times, like, there's nothing.
One shot down him.
No, that's not even a thing, though. Like, it's not a UE, I'm saying. Like, in this in this game it is, but also, and you know this as well as I know this, as, you know, really good players, they're not going to, you know, put themselves in that range / timing window where they can get one shot down. Like, they're gonna back at you in between that timing window, which, you know, some people look at as a skill, but in reality, you know, when you're getting pushed, you are basically kind of guessing half the time. And I feel like you're guessing a lot less when you're on the aggression, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I don't. Wow, I just got spawned on. Okay.
You're the person that's dictating pace, whereas the other person is reacting to the pace that you're setting, which in, you know, Gears UE, Gears 4, Gears 5, that's usually the better situation to be in, is the person who's dictating the pace.
Right. And that is just, I don't know, man. I understand it. I understand the appeal. But I think that even this last update that we were just playing, I feel like it's a lot more, I don't know, like, I don't, like, I'm not saying it's good. I don't want there to be fucking one-shot downs from across the map, but, you know, we're still dealing with that. The only thing we adjusted was the damage from mid-range, so it's like, is that really the problem? Was the problem the fact that from mid-range you can't, like, you're doing too much damage? That didn't feel like the problem. The problem felt like you're just getting one shot down from too far. But I liked when people were pushing me and I had a fucking fighting chance, because, you know, I didn't have to hit 5 shots in a row by the time they back 8'd me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that spread being tightened, like, it affects all ranges, like how much harder you can hit, the amount of pellets that you can hit. So like them widening the spread, it's that widening of the spread essentially nerfed every single range a bit, because it seemed like they did a pretty big, like, widening of the spread. So it nerfed every range, and then they just double added on with the mid range. It just feels like it's more, I don't know. I don't know if that's misunderstanding on their end, what's actually wrong with the shotgun, or maybe that's what they felt like was necessary. But for me, it just feels like they misread what was actually wrong with the shotgun, and widening that spread would have done most of what they were trying to achieve.
but don't you feel like the new problem is, and people won't notice this as much in, you know, casual, like, you know, King of the Hills like we're in right now, you're not going to notice it as much. But, like, when we go to play a tournament, or we go to play, you know, a professional player or players in wagers, or, you know, something important, right? Like a skillgap.gg game, right?
Yep.
My point is doesn't it then turn into, I can no longer play defense the way I want to play it? Like, I'm at a disadvantage, right? I have to play aggressive before they do, otherwise I'm more likely to die. And in my opinion, it should be 50-50. And I understand how hard it is to make a game truly 50-50. But it's just a little fucking ridiculous. It's like I'm playing League right now and just using, like, a super OP champ, right? Where it's like, this is objectively a character that is, you know, stronger than others, right? Like, I'm going to be able to scale and just snowball the game. It's over. GG's, right? And I feel like in this way, it's like, if I just play more aggressive than my opponents, I'm probably going to win the majority of my fights.
Yep.
Like, I'm right now pushing into 3 people on purpose, by the way. And I could have got 2, maybe 3 kills just now. That should not be the case. That should not be the case. Not consistently, at least. It should be possible, but it should only be possible with them failing. And they're not really failing because they can't do any damage from me or to me from mid-range. There's nothing they can do. They have to hold their shot. They have to hold their shot. And if you guys don't know what that means, YouTube, holding their shot means, like, they're not shooting until I'm close. Well, that kind of makes this game weird as well. Like, you know, okay, this guy's not dead. Like, I don't understand how that guy's not dead. Them holding their shot it's now like a weird game. This is supposed to be a shooter game, right? So in order to get a kill, you have to not shoot until the last second. And the problem with that is when people are sliding into covers like here, like, you know, okay, I got one shot down. When people are sliding into your covers, there's a thing called lag compensation. So sometimes what's happening on your screen is not what's happening on their screen, right? It looks like two completely different games. And so when you make a game that has that element of you have to hold your shot or you have to time your shot just right, in order to get this kill, it's going to build for a lot of inconsistencies on certain, you know, servers and against certain players. You know, you may be getting, you know, the kills more often than not, and vice versa. Like, it just is, it's not a good element to a game that is a quote-unquote cover-based shooter. Like, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's good. It's the same reason in Gears 4 and 5. Now hear me out, YouTube. This is the same reason in Gears 4 and 5 why there are so many people bot walking around, right? Just quote-unquote bot walking, right? They're walking around holding their shot. Why? Because that's what the game turned into. Aggression is like so good that the only counter is not shooting and just walking around at somebody, right, and hoping for the best. Now, the counter to walking around and holding your shot and bot walking is shooting while moving. So, like, in Gears 5, you could literally wall bounce, and in midair, like, technically, you're air bouncing. In midair, you're able to shoot accurately. And so that brings a whole nother element to the game, and it's just all a big fucking terrible mess at the end of it. And you know, once you boil it all down, the aggressor who's able to move the fastest while shooting accurately is the winner. And so this game goes from a cover-based, you know, style heavy type of character game to now you know, a movement game. Like, it's like you're Counter-Strike surfing or something, you know. It's just a weird game. And it's the same thing that happened with Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty, all the old school Call of Duties is what everybody loves, you know. Well, nowadays, the new Call of Duties, it's all about movement. It's all about sliding. It's all about, you know, camera glitching people and, you know, whatever, right? So it's like, I don't know, man. In terms of longevity and stuff, I feel like having a game that, you know, is trying to be like everything else is not the way that you want to go, because you're going to get lost in the, you know, big mess of all these other games and communities and stuff. Like, it's better to be unique than it is to be the same as every other game. And that's kind of where I feel like this game is already headed a week in. So hopefully Gears can, you know, hear at least a little bit of what I'm saying out, and you know, maybe change that 15% to like 8%, or maybe revert this change and maybe just make adjustments to how much damage each pellet does, something like that. Like, we got to do something other than what we're doing right here, because in my opinion, this is not the right route. You're double nerfing defensive players. I think it's important to be able to play the way that you want to play, and not have defense be an advantage and not have offense be an advantage.
I think it should all just be situational. I think that's what you're kind of getting at.
That's what I'm trying to explain. It's hard to explain, honestly. Yeah.
I guess some moments being aggressive should be better, and playing it passive should also be better. I think one of the clear indicators, and you'll never be able to stop this 100%, but when somebody is playing aggressive on you, if you are playing a Gears game that is like Gears 4 and Gears 5, you feel like you need to give up your cover more than on a game like, let's say, Gears 2 in its current state, GU6, or Gears of War 3, or even the version of the game before this. You felt like you could hold your ground on the cover. When you have a game that is, you know, at least somewhat balanced, in that like defensive versus aggressive styles. Like you feel like you can hold your cover. There's not a single point on Gears 4 and Gears 5 where, well, most of the time, I feel like when somebody is playing aggressive on me, especially in very competitive matches, you feel like you need to give up your cover and like stand next to a taller cover or something like that. And you know, it's not the balance you're looking for in a game like this, to have people giving up their covers with the lack of movement that is on here.
I think about, like, automatically my mind goes to like middle mansion, like the hot tub area. Like, I feel like in this previous version, like the release version of this game, I felt so comfortable playing for like a 2-shot down when somebody's pushing me, which is, to be honest, a very reasonable 2-shot down. It's a you know, a close quarters area. How many shots do you want me to hit, right? But in this version of the game, and it's the same thing as UE, in my opinion, I have to give up my cover. Like, I'm going to get slid at. I have to give up my cover and, you know, strafe it out with them, or start wall bouncing and inversing and reaction shotting, you know. Like, I can't just play good, solid, fundamental Gears of War at that point, which is exactly what you're saying. That's not what I want. I don't want to have to give up my positioning just to be able to fight back. If I earn this positioning, I want to be able to abuse it. It's my positioning. And that's another reason why modes that are respawn game modes and stuff are good, is because you can't just abuse, you know, a wall and sit behind it. You know, you have to go get the objective. So it's like, the objective in execution is not necessarily a point system, like a ring system or something like that. It's a power weapon, right? Or elevation on the map. Like, those are your objectives. And so, even that, like, I feel like that's good. But, I almost got shit on right there. But,
I was trying to angle him out for you so you could play your right hand.
yeah, you made me miss. I don't know, like, I like that though, what you said, because it's true. Like, I think that is a clear indicator. If I feel like I need to get off of a cover to win a fight when somebody's straight lining me, then I feel like that's probably not okay.
Yeah, it means there's some type of imbalance for sure. Because at the end of the day, Gears of War is supposed to be a cover-based shooter, and the way the movement has evolved, obviously, is going to change the way Gears of War gets played forever. But not eliminating the way Gears of War used to be played and what you used to be able to do is very important. So,
I mean, I don't think this game, I don't even think my side of the argument is like arguing for the older style necessarily. I think it's just a logical thing. Like, I don't want to be forced to push into somebody's fucking right hand. Like, I don't want to have to do that in order to get a kill. Like, I don't want to wall bounce 7 times unless I feel like wall bouncing 7 times. Like, I want that to be an option, not a necessity. Like, this guy up here, like, all right, this guy's pushing down the ramp. He should be dead already. Why are we still shooting him? That's a bad push by this guy, right? I hit him for 46. Like, it's a bad push. I want people to get rewarded for good plays, and I want them to be punished for plays like that. That's what I want. And I want it to happen every time. Not sometimes. I want it to happen every time. This guy pushing me, the only way he would win this is if I miss. Like, that's how it should be. Shot that guy with 2 pistol bullets on the ground.
I thought you were trying to get kill to somebody. So I just shot it.
Smoke out.
I don't know if you felt it, but these guys are shooting.
They're trying their asses off. Ball don't lie. Hmm?
You say ball don't lie?
Yeah, I got my kill back. You stole my kill. Like, I'm getting my kill back.
Have you gotten a sweaty game like this for YouTube at all? Or no?
Yeah, yesterday actually. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was in like a 1v4 basically. I dropped like 90 something kills in two rounds and some change because I joined when it was like basically over the first round. So I would have had well over 100 if I was there the whole time.
These games are rare. I rarely get any of these.
They have to be 4-stacked, right?
Close to it.
Or like, yeah, two or three of them at least. They're shooting their fucking asses off right now. They're trying so hard.
How are they gonna feel when they see that you're recording a YouTube video? Casually talking about the shotguns.
Who knows? Like, bro, how do I get chunked there? Wow.
Oh my god, I just spawned behind all of them.
You just ratted yourself out.
Yeah, I shouldn't have shot, but like I also didn't expect their teammate to just push at them and die. Okay. And one of our teammates quit. Trying to prove you're young or something?
What'd you say?
Are you trying to prove that you're young or something?
You saw that, right? I'm like that, bro. Nowadays, adapt or die. That's what they say. That's the thing that frustrates me, though. That's actually funny, because, I mean, this is like a personal thing, I guess, but that is actually one thing that really annoys me is anytime I talk about adjustments to the game that I want or like things I don't like, it's always like oh, I want it to be this way because of, you know, I like Gal 3 or, you know, whatever, like. And I try to explain to people, man, like I had so much success just like you did in Gears 4 and 5, and I did not like the game. I didn't agree with the game. Like, success has nothing to do with my thoughts on the game. I really, really mean that. I do not agree with a lot of these things because it's not good for the game. It's not good for the community. It's not good for the new player. You know, it's not, it literally doesn't make sense. It has nothing to do with me and, you know, oh my god, bro, I'm trying to do it to them. I don't know, you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah, I mean we won 5 out of 6 events in season 1 of Gears 4, and I'm up at the coalition in a playtest talking about how the game like should be better in A, B, C, D different ways. So I completely understand.
I just don't like, because, you know, and it's not even like an age thing or anything like that, bro. I could wall bounce, I could inverse, I could reaction shot, I could do whatever that all these people do, but doesn't mean that I like it or agree with it. I really, really dislike it. But anyways, YouTube, that's it, man. That's enough ranting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you guys did, hit that sub button, leave a like for me, and come check out the stream. Love you guys, man. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Say goodbye, Kenny.
So yeah.
Peace, peace, peace.